lots of things. So now let's jump into lap 7. I think you can see Hamilton has over 13 seconds a gap to us, and Bottas with a dive against us, and we made some contact. Bottas has now damage to his front wing, and what a disaster for him, because that is costing him dear and time against us. And as you can see, a wobble in front of me from Bottas because of his front wing damage. And now we have the DRS, ERS and Rich Mix to re-overtake him into turn 1. We are going for it into turn 1, and we can get the job done because of his front wing damage. Hello and welcome back to a brand new video here on the channel of Team Squadron. I'm Mazu, and today we are going to make our first video in English of our Formula 1 2020 series. If you missed the last uploaded Grand Prix video of the Portuguese Grand Prix, then be sure to check that one out, because it was a very exciting Grand Prix with up and downs, and yeah. So be sure to check it one out. Today we are going to make our first English version, as I just said, of the Spanish Grand Prix. So the German version you can find if you click on the eye on the top right. And as you can see, our standings, we are 4th, and our teammate Alex Albon is 5th. So now let's get into our Q1 qualifying, and let's see if it's getting better than at the last Grand Prix. And let's hope the best for us. So now let's look at the weather for Q1 and the race. It will be cloudy and a bit of sunny in Q1. So let's going for our sightseeing lap, as I call it as in German. So I'm using the first qualifying lap as a track guide for the viewers who don't know that what I'm making. So we are going now into the Repsol turn, so turn 4, and yeah, it's really a great track, this circuit, the Barcelona Catalunya, and turn 5 here. So let's talk about the track. It's yeah, it has a lot of different winners, and Michael Schumacher, who had won the most Grand Prix here in Barcelona. Turn 9 you can drive it with full throttle, and now here turn 10 the hairpin, and here turn 12. Yeah. On the Formula 1 2020 game, it is still the old layout of the circuit, but the new layout, which is used in 2021, has only a few difference to that layout. So a few turns are new constructed, and over the line we are going on to P7. So, and now let's look at our results. Alexander Albon is in P3, and Hamilton is the fastest man on track in Q1. Out are George Russell, Giovinazzi, Magnussen, Nicolas Latifi, and Pierre Gasly. Yeah, and now let's move on into our Q2, and as you can see, it is raining now. So that will be an interesting qualifying session, because if it rains, then surprises can happen. So let's see if we can get into Q3, or if we if we are knocking out in Q2 once again. And as you can see, in turn 2 very wide line, sorry, turn 3, and now in our Repsol in turn 9 now, and going through the hairpin now. As you can see, the understeer is kicking in because of the slippery track conditions and the rain, which is still falling down. And let's see where we are going to stand after our first lap in Q2. Over the line now, and it is only P9, so we need to come out again in our Q2 session with another set of intermediate tires because of the rain. And now let's see if our lap time is getting better and if we can get through into Q3 for the first time in our Grand Prix series in 2021. So, as you can see, in the first sector we gained nearly a second, and now in the second sector with our very fast turn 9. But as you can see, it is very slippery and the conditions are getting worse. Yeah. And purple second sector. Is it possible that we can get the fastest time in Q2? Let's see. So now over the line, then we are P10 right now, and let's see if we can improve to get safely through into Q3, and we are third fastest at the end of Q2. So our first Q3 appearance in our Grand Prix series. And as you can see, Alexander Albon is just through into the Q3 session. Out in Q2 are Lando Norris, Esteban Ocon, Daniel Kvyat, Magnussen, and Kimi Räikkönen. So now let's move on into Q3. As you can see, the rain hasn't stopped yet, so I think it will be a rainy qualifying session in Q3, and we do have some free sets of softs to use in the race. So let's see if our lap time is good enough to finish high up in Q3 in our first Q3 session of our Grand Prix series in 2021. So that is our sightseeing lap in Q3, but the sightseeing lap, how we call it, is in Q1, the Grand Prix series. So over the line now, our first lap in Q3 is good enough for fourth fastest, but we are going for a second lap in after that one, so for 2 laps in a row, because in that tricky conditions it is better to get 2 laps in a row. And as you can see, purple first sector and purple second sector. Is it possible that we can get onto provisional pole or even get pole? Just to let you know, for information, some information about our new English videos, the subtitles and Jeff's callings to us and our team radios are in German, so I'm going to translate it for you that you can understand what Jeff said. Now to the line, that will be our last lap in Q3. What is gonna be? And we are fastest of all for the time being. Now let's get to our results, and we are second fastest. Really bitter for us, cause Hamilton has gone faster by round about 7, 8 tenths, and Alexander Albon on P8. So the further positions are Bottas on P3, Perez, Ricciardo, Vettel, Leclerc, Sainz, and Stroll are completing the top 10 shootout for tomorrow's race. And now let's get into the race.
Schön, Sie auf dem Circuit de Barcelona Catalunya zu begrüßen, wo wir gemeinsam einen spannenden Renntag einläuten und erleben wollen, wer den Sieg beim Grand Prix von Spanien holt. Der Circuit de Barcelona Catalunya ist 4,65 Kilometer lang und allen Fahrern von den Wintertests natürlich bestens bekannt. Das A und O ist hier Abtrieb. Er muss passen, vor allen Dingen dann, wenn es in die Kurve 9 geht, die, vorausgesetzt das Auto liegt gut, Vollgas genommen werden kann. Und wie immer sitzt heute Stefan Römer neben mir in der Kommentatorenkabine. Erklär doch mal ganz kurz, was genau die Fahrer tun werden, um das Gerangel bei Kurve 1 zu überstehen.
Es gibt 3 Dinge, die man besonders beachten muss, Heiko. Positionierung, Aufmerksamkeit und Disziplin. Erstmal muss man einen guten Platz für das Auto finden, wo man auch genug Luft hat, um auf die anderen zu reagieren. Dann muss man noch die Spiegel im Auge behalten und auf die Geräusche um einen herum achten, damit man weiß, wo die anderen alle sind. Und zu guter Letzt darf man nicht zu gierig sein. Nur weil man eine Lücke sieht, muss man nicht unbedingt reinfahren.
Es sind nur noch wenige Minuten bis zum Beginn des Rennens. So sieht die Startaufstellung aus. Lewis Hamilton startet heute von der Pole und Max Verstappen steht daneben. Die restliche Startaufstellung sieht wie folgt aus: Bottas, Perez, Daniel Ricciardo und Vettel, Leclerc, Albon, Sainz und Lance Stroll, Norris, Ocon, Danny Quert und Grosjean, Raikkonen, Russell, Antonio Giovinazzi und Kevin Magnussen, Latifi und Pierre Gasly steht auf dem letzten Platz im Grid. Und jetzt wird es Zeit, zur Strecke zu schalten.
So, I think you may have understood the starting grid, even if it's in German. So, the commentators are telling us that the circuit is famous for the drivers because of the winter testings. So now let's have a look at our strategy. We are going for the one stop because it isn't it doesn't cost so much time. So now let's get to our race start. Today again with no offboard. Sorry for that. I'll try to make the offboard again. Lights are out and we are on the way. And it's a stonking start for us. Over the line, just getting past Lewis Hamilton on the straight, and now turn 1, so we hold our P1, but we have made a mistake here, and Hamilton is right on our chest, so wheel to wheel into the turn 3 and into the wrap, so he can defend his first position. Behind us, Sergio Perez with another strong start from the Racing Point driver. So in the Formula 1 2020 game, we don't have the lineups from F1 2021, and the cars aren't as in F1 2021. So Renault is still Renault, and in 2021 it is Alpine, and Aston Martin is in that game Racing Point. So sorry for that. I hope that the F1 2021 game is coming out soon, but we are going to make our Grand Prix series in that game, so I think we have a championship for our Grand Prix series. So now let's get in at the end of lap 1, the fastest lap of Lewis Hamilton, because he is the leading car. And now let's jump into lap number 5. It doesn't happen very lots of things, so now let's jump into lap 7. I think you can see Hamilton has over 13 seconds a gap to us, and Bottas with a dive against us, and we made some contact. Bottas has now damage to his front wing, and what a disaster for him, because that is costing him dear and time against us. And as you can see, a wobble in front of me from Bottas because of his front wing damage. And now we have the DRS, ERS and Rich Mix to re-overtake him into turn 1. We are going for it into turn 1, and we can get the job done because of his front wing damage. He has to brake a bit earlier than us, because he has now the understeer, because of the downforce, which isn't there anymore because of his front wing damage. Lap number 13. So now we're asking Jeff if we can get into the pits, and he tells us that our pit stop window is open, and as you can see, Bottas has still enough grip and downforce to continue even with the front wing damage, and he has attacking us into turn 1, but we can defend our position. And now we are going through the Rapsel curve, and now into the last corners, and now we can get into the pits and receive our hard tires, which are a great race tire, but for qualifying and training sessions it isn't a good tire. So it is a race tire, and now let's get our hard tires and hope that the hard tire stint will be better than our stint of those mediums. So every driver in front of us has to pit now. That means for an undercut strategy, our gap to Hamilton was too big. What understeer is, I will explain you in an extra video, which will be uploaded in the next weeks. So, and if you want to see more videos in English, then be sure to smash that like button and leave us a comment how you thought about our video in English, and if we have to make more of those. So now, lap number 15, the other drivers in front of us are pitting now, except Hamilton. He has pitted because his gap was too big to see him into the pits, but now we reduces our gap to Hamilton, and yeah, now let's see. We are going now into lap number 16. We are setting now the fastest lap of the Grand Prix, and yeah, that is something. Our extra point, 19 instead of 18 now. What that means, I will explain you in another video, just like the undercut. So yeah, let's jump now into lap 22. It doesn't happen very much between those laps. Now into the Repsol curve again. Our gap to Hamilton now is 34 seconds, a bit more than 34 seconds, and yeah, really frustrating that we can't catch him anymore. So I think Hamilton will be winning this Grand Prix, except he is going to DNF with an engine failure or another mechanical issue. So now into our fast turn 9 and into the long straight, but let's move on into lap 29. It doesn't happen very much again here, but Bottas has caught up to us, so his front wing damage isn't that bad. So he has now the pace on his hard tires to catch up to us, but as you can see, the tire wear is kicking in again for us. So the front left tire, 51% is really worn out. So yeah, let's look how this is getting for us. Hamilton is now, I think, 43 seconds in front, so we won't catch him anymore, and yeah, let's focus now on our last laps, that we can keep our second place. And as you can see, Hamilton has now the fastest lap again. He has driven, I think, 7 or 8 fastest laps in a row in the last I think 10 laps, so he is showing that his old hard tires still have the pace to do that. And in front, that is Grosjean in the Haas car. He isn't driving anymore in his career, but he will test the Mercedes in at the French Grand Prix. Yeah, so we need to lap him now, because he is in another lap. He is a lap down, and yeah, let's look how we can get this job done, because I think it's the first time that we have to lap another car. So yeah, now we can see on the top left, blue flags are been waved for Grosjean, and let's look how we can get past him for us and for the team, that we don't lose so much time to Bottas. Now I think he's making he's moved out of the way, and what has he done? He has moved out of the way and came back onto the racing line into turn 9. That's very, very dangerous. And yeah, we were lucky that we didn't crash into him and get front wing damage from that incident. So now Bottas had the fun to lap him. So during Bottas is trying to lap him, we can accelerate as hard as we can and get a bit of a gap to him, so that he isn't in our DRS window. and
Zweiter Platz. Du bist auf dem
as you can
zweiten
see, we
Platz.
do have a
Blick
bit
von
of
dir.
clean
Unser
air
Abstand
now,
zum Auto vor uns
and
beträgt
we asked Jeff
45,7
for the status
Sekunden.
report.
Sie
So
fahren mit alten, harten Reifen. Bottas
everyone
liegt hinter
is
dir. Unser
on
Abstand
old
zum
hard
Hintermann
tires
beträgt
behind us and in front of us.
1,2 Sekunden.
And
Sie fahren mit
just for
alten,
notice,
harten
just for
Reifen.
reference,
Das
Sergio
Boxenstoppfenster
Perez
ist
is
offen.
out of this session.
Boxenstoppfenster ist
I think he
geradeaus.
retired
Jetzt
in
sind
lap
es nur noch
16
3
or
Runden.
something
3 Runden.
due because of a mechanical failure. So yeah, but he has done a great job, great start from him, and really sorry for him that he has to retire the car because of that issue. So now lap number 31 and our fast turn 9. Again, we need to brake a bit earlier because our tire wear is kicking in now. As you can see, front left tire nearly 60% wore out, and Jeff is telling us that we have fuel for, I think, 2 laps, he said. And yeah, let's focus now on our last laps of this Grand Prix, and let's come back to our English videos. So if you like them, please like that video and subscribe for more of those English videos. Then I can make every video in German and in English, or only in English, let's see. And if there are many views, then I'm going to make the older videos of our My Driver career mode and the older Grand Prix videos of the Bahrain, Imola and Portuguese Grand Prix. I will make them in English too, so you can win only with this action. So write in the comments if you like them or if you don't like them. So I'm open for critics, so you can critique those videos too. And as you can see, Hamilton with another fastest lap of this race. So I like critics, then we can prove from this and make our videos better than before. And yeah, that's the good side of those critics. And you can write in the comments under the hashtag better the videos, what we can improve with our videos, how could we improve with our videos, and yeah, to make our videos better for you. And yeah, you can only win with this activity. And yeah, now let's move on to the last lap of this Grand Prix. I think we will keep our second place, and if we won't keep it, I will be really frustrated, because the understeer is now really kicking in, especially on our front left tire, just as in the medium tire stint. But yeah, the hard tires are a good race tire, as I said at our pit stop, but yeah, they are really worn out now, and I'm praying that the checkered flag is coming as soon as possible. So now Lewis Hamilton wins the Spanish Grand Prix for Mercedes, and yeah, now we have a half lap to go. Turn 9 now again, and then our straight here to our hairpin. And I think we will keep our P2, so really happy with that. Our second podium of the Grand Prix season in 4 races at the Imola Grand Prix, where we have driven at the circuit of Vietnam in Hanoi. We won the Grand Prix after a dramatic end of this race, but we come home to take second place for our second podium in this Grand Prix series in 2021. Really proud of it, and yeah, the driver of the day is Pierre Gasly. He deserved it. He started from last and get 13th at the end of this race. Congrats to him.
Und Mercedes fährt hier heute einen großartigen Sieg an. Stefan, wie konnten Sie heute deiner Meinung nach so ein unglaubliches Resultat abliefern?
Ich denke, es war deutlich, dass der Hauptfaktor auf der Strecke die Geschwindigkeit war. Es klingt nach einer furchtbar vereinfachenden Aussage, aber schnelle Autos gewinnen Rennen, Heiko, und das haben wir heute bei unserem Sieger gesehen.
Und die Fahrer begeben sich nun für die Siegerehrung zum Podest. Ein echter Teamsieg heute. Ein großartiges Beispiel für eine rundum gelungene Umsetzung. Glückwunsch an das Team von Mercedes, den heutigen Sieger des Rennens.
So I will translate it fast for you. So the commentators have said in German that Mercedes have won that Grand Prix, and congrats to them, and that a fast car wins races. And yeah, you can write in the comments too if I have to make, or if you want me to make an extra series of races for with English commentators. So write it in the comments what you thought, and if I need to do that, or if I can leave it like this, because that will help you, it will help me to translate, it will help you to understand. And yeah, let's look at our race results. Alexander Albon is on P5, so a nice bunch of points for our team. Vettel on P4, Bottas is completing the podium, so nice points for Mercedes too. And as you can see, Pierre Gasly from 20th to 13th, and Paris the DNF of the day. Yeah, we can call it like that. In our standings, we are 45 points, I think, behind Hamilton now, so we has stretched out his gap once again, and Albon has caught up to us, and in the constructors we do have 70 points. It's a gap to Mercedes, so Mercedes has twice the points which we have now. But guys, if you did enjoy that video, then be sure to smash that like button and subscribe our channel. Let me know what you thought in the comments below if you only run here. Then do get some subscribe, as I just said, and yeah. And write in the comments if I have to make more of those English languages videos. Yeah, and till then have a nice day. Enjoy the rest of the day. I see you guys next time. Goodbye.